Yo, yo. Microphone check 1, 2. Well, thought I was going to have time to sneak in a little smoke break there. How's everybody doing? So today should be an interesting live stream. We're going to go over a question that keeps coming up, and I've seen a couple of other YouTube channels cover it, and that's the thought the staging has something to do with items from the cemetery. Me, I don't subscribe to that theory. I don't see why. To me, it's more of a time issue. If they were going to use those kind of items, to me, there would have been maybe some type of pre-staging, and that changes the profile to me for the killer entirely. And it seems something that people bring up to try to point back to the Ron Logan narrative. And if there was something taken from the cemetery, it definitely would lean towards that. I mean, because you got to think, if he's at the dump at 12, there's items missing from the cemetery left at the crime scene. It would have to be somebody who's not visible coming in and out of the cemetery, going in and out of the kill zone or the crime scene. Yeah, I got a video I'm going to play, Brandon. Then I got me a nice little fat, fresh little binger loaded up. Marlo, Brandon, Diana, Bird Blue, Olivia, Vanessa, Baby Bear, hello. Bossy, good to see you. Alicia, yeah, shine that light. That's what we're doing. Best we know how. There you go. You always got to have that backup. Good to see you, Derek. Hey, what's up, Spaced Out? Grunge Truck. I don't know if I buy into all that stuff. I'm open-minded. I'm not a doubter. But you don't have to make a purchase to look at something, you know, more of a window shopper with these kind of these ideas, psychics and whatnot. I think everybody has, you know, somewhat of that intuition, that gut instinct. Yeah, William. I like it as well. Jacqueline's asking if you had any results there. Diane says, I totally believe there was pre-staging. Well, it looks like we're pretty much caught up on the chat. So we're going to go over that question today. We're going to go over souvenirs, trophies, the staging that's discussed. Then I want to go over my shadow stalking theory with you guys, and I want you guys to dissect it. Even anybody who's watching the replay, in the comments after we talk about it, go ahead and leave your pros and cons. Also, I believe there's an update. I know when Tom from Delphi Timeline went up there and was live streaming over in his trip to Delphi, he took a quick trip over to Peru, and there wasn't anybody really searching in the rivers at that time. But apparently, as of this morning, I went to a Criming Shame, and they had posted some information, or they're planning on covering some information that Famously Unfamous has been communicating over to them, or on his channel, that they are in fact searching today, full scale, apparently over 20 bodies down there searching. So that's a good sign. So that is the itinerary for today. These are basically things that I was going over on my own, questions that I have myself. And hopefully when I come here on the channel, we can kind of group together and kind of put our heads together that way. Good to see you, Jessica. Lucky lady, hello. 3 to 4 suspects. Hey, what's up, Grizz? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bossy, I've been getting good sleep. I've been going to bed like around 9, 10 o'clock. I'm trying to get, I got to get back into golf season. The weather's changing. I got all my practice stuff out in the yard. The grass is cut. I've been going to the range. Yeah. So been doing a lot of work around the house. So usually it's when I'm lazy that you'll find me staying up late. What's up, Spaced Out? You know, some criminals lie to police about info just to leave prison for the day or get outside food. I think Kegan may have done something like that. I've thought of that. It's not just a thought. I actually pulled up some stuff online that I was able to find actual cases that does happen. Okay, so let's go ahead and start up this conversation here. If you believe it's possible that this killer and the staging that took place at this crime scene had anything to do with items taken from the cemetery, put a 1 in the comments. I just want to know how much time we're going to spend on this specific topic here. So if you think it's possible, put a 1. If you think that that's a strange idea and it's not very likely, don't worry about it. Don't put anything. Hey, Don, I don't buy the motorcycle club angle. TK, PB wouldn't get past the hang around level. See, I just don't know these people well enough. So I'm not going to, I don't think it's safe to assume. Hey, Tom, thanks for the super chat. I played 36 holes yesterday. Love golf in September. It's the best. We get California weather right around this time. Good afternoon, fellow sleuthers. I hope everyone is having a great Monday. Have you covered anything about the motorcycle club and any connections? That's from Tom with another super chat. Not in detail. You know, I go back and I watch some of the videos where they have the rides and things like that in honor of Abby and Libby. But I mean, I don't see any connection. I know that there was a man, a local man, who was taken by some of his, I guess, club members. But apparently he did something they didn't like, so they kidnapped him, took him out to a secluded field, beat the shit out of him, and then left him out in the field. This was something in Carroll County. Tobe Lesenby covered it. So I looked into that group for a little bit, but I just couldn't see anything that was tied into it other than them having all those rides and things like that. But I do know that usually the meth trade here on the West Coast and then the Southwest, it's pretty much ran by the Mexican mafia through actually it's the cartels through the Mexican mafia and groups like the Hells Angels. So what they'll do is they'll go into a town like Delphi and they'll set up shop. You know, they'll get a trailer. They'll have drugs coming in and out of there, or they'll have something in a local. You know, they try to avoid the cities because of the law enforcement. They want to take advantage of the law enforcement. So if you go to any small town, that's why you see a heavy trafficking of meth. It's because the law enforcement, they're not heavily funded, and they're just the numbers. I mean, Bogey says 0. What's up, New York? Hey, just Pam. Okay, so let's get into it. Rory says yes, very possible. Violet Gal, hello. Yes, Blind Squirrel, Bean. Nina, hello. Derek says yes, why not? Alicia. You talking about motorcycles? How dare you? Motorcycles. Baby Bear, definitely. Why not? Olivia says yes, it's possible. Diana Blake, nope. I just can't believe with audio and video law enforcement. Yeah. It's almost like at this point, William, it's like incompetence or corruption or the brilliance of a killer. And if it's the brilliance of a killer, it's definitely has nothing to do with Kegan Klein. There ain't nobody with 2 brain cells that are hanging around with those guys. I'm sorry. Expose the trolls. What's up? Hey, Diamonds. She says, yeah, why not? Wishful thinking. Oh, I missed this one from Bossy. Thank you, Bossy. Yeah, we're getting a new bed too. Hey, thank you, Frank. Yeah, we're going to get a bigger bed. I think that's going to help. Because I'm a tosser. You know, I got to roll. I got to find all the cold spots on the pillow. I got to, you know, I got to do all of that. And then somewhere in between all that chaos, I fall asleep. I got to have talk radio going on or a movie. Yeah, thank you, Tom. What's up, D? Good to see D. D holds it down for me pretty good as a moderator. Thank you. I appreciate that, D. Religious, non-secular. We get that from Robert Ives. So if we didn't have the non-secular information, would we ever assume that there was items coming from the cemetery? Or do you think there's insider information that some people have and they bring it out in the open kind of for a I told you so moment later on. Thank you, William. It's good to see you as well. Hold on, guys. I got a sneeze coming. Ooh, that was a good one. I was expecting 3. See, the bed we have is like, I mean, it's super comfy. It's just not big enough. You have to go with like a Cali King, I think. Yeah, drugs is a huge pandemic. From all the way down from alcohol, prescription drugs, to stuff coming over the border from China. Yeah, it's really bad. Nothing like when we were kids, you know. Bossy says, I'm going to check the search out. I'm still listening, but we'll check in soon. Non secular can refer to spiritual too, which is different than religion. But I think if it's outside of religion, it's secular. Thanks, Bossy, for the updates as well. I already have like crazy dreams. Can't take anything to help sleep. Hey, Hunting Evil, good to see you. See named page 144 of the affidavit. And boys, there are things to see there with him and girlfriend at the time. Goes back even Lafayette Walmart shooter, same ring. Hey, Big Fish. Should hire a private investigator. I heard that they did, but I haven't heard it out of their mouth. Already in custody, presumably for other charges or convictions. What do you think of that? I would have to say DNA, fingerprints, hair and fibers. I would think they would have a match by now, I guess is what I'm saying. Is that cemetery still used? Yes. Yes, it is. It's a very nice cemetery. But I think people who mention it are trying to tie Ron Logan to that further into the crime. That's my theory when people mention that. So I wanted to ask everybody who said, put in a 1 in the comments. If you put a 1 in the comments, do you also believe that Ron Logan do you lean towards Ron Logan being responsible for this? So I'm kind of doing a survey. Are the people who think that the staging and all that stuff is involved with taking items from the cemetery? Are those same people of the thought that Ron Logan may be involved and is the bridge guy? I'm just curious. Because I think it's a timing issue. There's no way Ron Logan would commit the crime, walk back to the cemetery, walk back down, stage things, try to throw law enforcement off, and then go back to his place and then jet out of there. So it's more of a timing issue. I think non-secular just means religious. Whatever religion that is really doesn't matter. As long as it's religion based, it's non-secular. Hey, what's up, Radar? Good to see you. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're not going to spend much more time on this topic, but I did want to play a video from Randy Gravitt. He's given me permission to share this on my video, so thank you again, Randy Gravitt. I think he's now Lost City of Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. He actually walks from the north end of the bridge through the woods, pretty close to the crime scene, and then up and gives us a good look at the cemetery. So I think this will give us an idea if the killer was going to go grab items from there. This kind of puts it into perspective, kind of how ridiculous that thought is, unless it's a pre-planned murder, unless this is something the killer did prior to maybe even the 13th, maybe the night of the 12th, he staged an area. And if this is somebody that staged an area prior, we're dealing with, I think, a whole different type of killer. So that's where we're at on that. So we will be stopping and going depending on what's going on in the chat. I want to catch up on that. But if you have any questions or you want to call in even during any of these little videos that I play, hit the link. It is pinned. You know, that offer is extended to anybody that's out there who would like to call in and ask a question. Maybe get their question ahead of the chat. You don't have to stay and hang out. You can come on and say, hey, Sleuth, this is my opinion on that. Take care, you know. So feel free to call in if you would like to.
Hey everyone, how you doing? I'm back at the bridge. This is part 3 of what I found here between the cemetery and the bridge. Another cold day this morning. Sorry about what I'm doing here. I gotta put my clothes back on. Back at the bridge. I had a lady last night message me saying that going by Julie's video, everybody else, Gary Hughes talked about they went across the bridge down to the hill over through the creek that way. I said, well, I look out the box and I look at different ways. Now, what I'm thinking is they would go through this this trail here on the side, saying that
William, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
You kind of have a little bit of an echo. Hi, William. Everybody, welcome William M. What can I do for you? What's on your mind, William?
Hey, is the echo still there?
No, you sound pretty good now. It's
Okay.
still there. It's still there, but it's tolerable.
Okay. Yeah, it might be something on my end. I'll have to look at it later. Yeah, just wanted to just kind of chime in here real quick. Love the channel. Love what you're doing, man. I believe Bridge Guy is a local to Delphi. I think he knew the area very well. I think this was something that he had been planning for a while. As far as the ties with Kegan Klein, I think Kegan may know who Bridge Guy is, but I'm not sure. But it just, like I said earlier, it just blows my mind that it's been as long as it has, and nobody knows who this guy is. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
I mean, none of it makes sense at all. None of it.
Yeah, no, I just, started researching this case not too long ago, and it's just, I don't get how you have, I mean, the visual of this guy on the bridge, it's not the greatest, but I believe there's more audio, you know, an interview that I listened to a short time ago of one of the girl's mothers, and she had said on the audio you could clearly hear one of the girls say, is creeper guy still following us? So he had been following the girls. And another thing I don't understand is there's no witnesses, or I think there's a few witnesses, but in my opinion, I think somebody does know who this guy is. They're just afraid to get involved for obvious reasons.
Do you think they're afraid of him directly?
I think so. I really do. I think that if they were to call law enforcement and say, hey, we know who this guy is, they're afraid that he, could do something to them. And I think that's why they just haven't reached out to this point.
I agree, because if this is somebody that, let's say he gets arrested, right? He has no clue somebody ratted him out, so to speak. He goes into jail. This would have to be somebody who could make one phone call and you're now in danger.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think too, for sure.
Or nobody knows. It's either one or the other.
And just another thing real quick, from what I've heard Doug Carter state, he makes statements like, we know a lot about you, we know he's watching. When he makes comments like that, it makes me wonder, do they know who he is, but they're just trying to get the alibi down for this guy?
I'm wondering if he may have even reached out to somebody or contacted law enforcement, left a note for them, maybe some graffiti.
Yeah, I just think when he makes statements like that,
he knows.
He's got to know. He's got to know. I'm just surprised it's taken this long for them to get either his whereabouts or his alibi straight. You thought it would have come out by now. I just don't know why it's taking this long still.
You think it's possible that they're absolutely clueless?
Boy, at this rate, I just don't know. I would really hope that something comes about shortly, because if it doesn't, I don't know when it's going to happen. I really don't. And I think we could, go maybe another year or two, hopefully. I hope it doesn't happen, but, because these girls need justice. They deserve justice. That should have never happened that day. And this guy needs to pay for what he did.
And the search in the Wabash River, that would tie in more with a Kegan Klein scenario, don't you think?
I think so too. For them to take him into custody, which I still don't know if they technically had him in custody or not. I think with Kegan, he's like, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of time. Maybe if I open my mouth and say a few things, I won't do as many years. So I think he's obviously talking. I would just love to know what specifically he's told these investigators.
Yeah, and he was taken out of Carroll County and put into state custody. And there's court documents that say that he's negotiating.
Okay. Yeah, I would just be curious to find out. Go ahead.
But is that connected to Delphi? You got to remember, he's facing all kinds of charges. We don't see anywhere in all this Delphi pop up. No public official has come out and said this search is connected to Delphi. The only person we've heard say that is a reputable source, which is the Murder Sheet podcast. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay, yeah, it's, I'm just curious if it is tied to Delphi and if he knows who this bridge guy is. Because I don't really know, you know, outside of Kegan, who really knows Bridge Guy, or if they do know Bridge Guy, you know, like we just went over, they're not going to come forward due to, you know, obvious reasons. One being safety and what could happen if they do come forward. That's what I think.
And what I'm going to end the show on later is a theory. I've titled it shadow stalking, the shadow stalking theory. That's basically Kegan Klein being responsible without knowing it. Basically, somebody who's hacking him while he's hacking Libby. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting in that sense. But it could have easily been possible for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, chime in on that. Me personally, I don't think Ron Logan had anything to do with this.
What's your thoughts on the cemetery stuff? I've never thought that, but I keep hearing people bringing it up, and I have been questioned that before. Do you think a killer would go up there, and even why would they do that?
Boy, I'm not sure. The reality of the matter is Ron Logan is dead. I think whatever he did know, he took to the grave. I just don't see a 77-year-old man doing all that, getting across the bridge like that. And it's just, every time I see the Bridge Guy footage, I just don't see Ron Logan.
At all.
You know, yeah, I didn't before and I don't now. I just don't see Ron Logan up
He's
there.
too tall. He's too tall to be the Bridge Guy.
Yeah, I just don't see Ron Logan up on that bridge. I just don't. But yeah, I just wanted to, you know, weigh in on that. Love the channel, man, and I'll definitely have to come on again. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, William, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate your participation in the chat. Please call in more often if you have questions. I'd love to chat with you.
I definitely will, man. Sounds good. Take care.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, you too, man. Bye.
Bye. Wow, that was a treat. Thank you so much, William. William is somebody who you guys have most likely been seeing in the chat. See if I can catch up before. Here, let me go ahead and get this video playing again for you.
Going by Julie's video, everybody else, Gary Hughes talked about they went across the bridge down to the hill, over through the creek that way. I said, well, I look out the box and I look at different ways. Now, what I'm thinking is they would go through this this trail here on the side where the flowers are, because they would have to think about if they parked any vehicles by the cemetery, they want to make sure that car is still there. And I had another lady tell me there's a car down below on the other side. I had a photo sent to me, and I told her, I said, there's no car, there's no Ford Mustang down below, it's just trees. So some of the videos, some of the pictures I see, some are trees only, and there's nothing down below, since they shouldn't have been down there in the first place in the private property. I said everybody would be able to see the killers and the girls if they walked across the creek that way. So here I am, I'm on the other side. This time I got it straight up instead of sideways. You can see the trail heavy I'm taking, and there's the bridge from here to there, and I'm going to continue. I want to take a different route, different way than yesterday, and of course it's rough terrain, and I want to try to sterilize my hand as much as I can, but being cold as this morning, again 34 degrees, but you still can see the bridge, And of course ahead of me, there's quite a debris in the way to walk through. You would have to turn to your left here.
Vanessa, I laughed at that too.
Because there's a little ravine going down, kind of steep ravine going there. So they would have to go this way towards the cemetery. I'll stop right here.
Oh man, we should have Captain insert like some scary Bigfoot just to like pop out right here and scare the shit out of everybody.
Do it again. You can see this bridge. The girls, you can see where the girls will be standing at across the bridge through the trees where I'm standing at. And of course you still look. But if you got
Olivia, this is a couple
deeper
years
here in these trees here, you start disappearing into the trees and no one would know you're in here at all. My nose got running. But following this trail here, I had a Daylight Paranormal message me on my comment saying yes, there is a trail I'm following right now, and my brother's been out here. Now you can see down below, there's the creek, and now you can see kind of farther down the river, creek down there, you see a landing, a very level land.
Jessica Saunders says, Sleuth, have you ever heard of a witness seeing a weird man at 1-ish at the trial? He and she said hi to him and creeped her out. If it was BG, he was there at 1 and had to have known the girls were going. Well, the thing is, they seen him at about 1:30. This information comes from Julie Melvin. She's actually, one person removed from the source of this information. So it's most likely correct. Now, what she tells us is the person was observed. He was a little bit darker. I don't know what that means. To me, that sounds like maybe light-skinned Hispanic or Latin heritage or something along those lines. Maybe somebody with a mixed race, something along those lines. But she said about 1:30-ish. Person was darker. So yeah, the girls, he was observed. That would mean he was observed right before the girls were being dropped off, which would correlate with an ambush. And also, and I think she may be the source of the Younger sketch. That I can't confirm. But I have a feeling she is the one. She's the one that got a good look at him, because apparently Julie said he had like an evil look to him. So, I mean, the only way you're going to see an evil look on somebody's face is if you're getting a good, decent look at the person.
Around there, that's where the girls were found and stuff, around the creek there. So I'm going to continue on this trail here. And I'm going to show you today what's down there between this property and the cemetery property, of what's in the ditch over here. You can tell somebody's been walking through here a lot before. Going through. And you would have to pretty much watch where you're walking, like I just did. I just stumbled over something, a tree, branch or something, messaging.
Okay, so this is where Randy is, if you guys are confused. So he basically walked up to the north end of the bridge and started walking this way. Started walking kind of, I guess that's northeast. Starts walking northeast. So he's probably right now somewhere like right here.
That going by Julie's video, everybody else Gary Hughes talked about they wouldn't cross. But yeah,
He said Gary Hughes.
on the creek there. So I'm going to continue.
Sorry, I went too far.
I'll stop right here. Do it again. You can see this bridge. The girls, you can see where the girls will be standing at across the bridge through the trees where I'm standing at. And of course you still look. But if you got deeper here in these trees here, you start disappearing into the trees and no one would know you're in here.
See, and there's a deer stand right out here somewhere. So if you guys are on the whole Ron Logan thing, I mean, that is a decent theory. If he's sitting up there, it's Monday, he can see the bridge. You can see the bridge from the deer stand, and it's on his property. I think it's either on his property or the mirrors, but it's right there where people do hunt. We've seen Michael Catt go out there. He climbed up the thing. So, I mean, the killer could have been sitting on that deer stand, which would make him either related to somebody in the mirrors, one of those properties, you know, in that area where they knew they could be out there hunting and get away with it. It doesn't have to be Ron Logan. But that does make sense. Somebody sitting on the deer stand observes two young girls during school hours. You know, this person's not going to have any knowledge if he doesn't have any children that it's a snow day. He's like, I'm coming out here hunting. I'm wrapping it up because everybody's gone. They're working or at school. So he may have thought, hey, they may have been the first people to come out onto the bridge. So he can't see the trails, but he can see the bridge. Sees these two girls, and he's like, oh, you know, he may have been drinking. You know, who knows? All we know is that 100% Kegan Klein is not our killer. We read it in the affidavit. They said, we don't think you're the killer. We think you're tied to the killer. So this guy's still out there, you know. And when you're dealing in child porn and you're dealing with drugs, he says hard drugs, PCP, child porn, all this kind of stuff, think about the different type of people you're going to be around. I mean, you could be around a mass murderer, you wouldn't even know it.
At all. My nose got running. But following this trail here, I had a Daylight Paranormal message me on my comment saying, yes, there is a trail. I'm following right now. And my brother's been out here. Now you can see down below, there's the creek. And now you can see kind of farther down the river.
Tom says, this guy is breathing very hard. No way 77-year-old Ron Logan committed this crime, in my opinion. They're about the same height, too. Randy's a little bit more heavy set, but not much. They're both large American men. But Randy can do it, and he's done. I don't know if he can do it now, but around this time, you know, he got it done. He got the job done. So that's all the killer had to do that day was get the job done that day, you know? So it's really hard to tell.
Creek down there, you see a landing, a very level land. Around there, that's where the girls were found and stuff, around the creek there. So I'm going to continue on this trail here. And I'm going to show you today what's down there between this property and the cemetery property of what's in the ditch over here. You can tell somebody's been walking through here a lot before. Going through. And you would have to pretty much watch where you're walking, like I just did. I just stumble.
So he should be like right around here now. He's probably coming right around this bend.
Something, a tree branch or something, So pretty much, there's a lot of trees in here. So I'm thinking that's what they did. Came through here. Pretty much,
Thanks,
you
Frank.
can't see behind you if anybody can, but there's the bridge again. You can still get closer over here. You can see the bridge over there through the trees where Abby and Libby was. Pretty much, he could have been standing right here, close to the edge, still see, not be able, nobody thinking to see through those trees to over here. Continue on this route.
No, Radar. He just changed the name.
But yeah, it's kind
Lost City of
of
Atlanta.
bumpy. There's that area again. You can see almost a footprint there. I'll continue this way. And we'll come up to the crow's nest where the hunters sit. So you still be able to see there.
See, there's the deer stand. So Randy actually goes up and shows us the deer stand. If you were up on this deer stand, you could see the bridge.
There to the bridge. And there's the bridge. So I'm gonna go this trail this time around. Not killing myself. There's ways to go around.
So yeah, that means that bridge stand is somewhere like right over here. Because he's coming right around this bend. He's like up here. Because this goes down, I think. This is like a hill that goes down this way. So he's probably right about... And Frank will know. Frank, like right there, right? Is kind of by the deer stand.
You have to go around a lot of trees here. And there's some things that are sticky. But to continue this way, well, you can see there's a lot of trees around me, and you still can't see me. Clear back here. You wouldn't know if nobody was back here. If the guy, killer was a killer, came this way, they want to make sure that their getaway car are still over here at the cemetery. Because they would have to come this way to make sure that their getaway vehicle is still here. So, still going, getting closer to where that one landing was, the cemetery. So, I'm going through a lot of trees here. Now, I'm getting to, I was telling you about the opening. Now, here's a clear opening through here. Big tree back there, lambs. That's why I crawled through yesterday. So, this is pretty much a wide opening, but only be a short way across this way to where the cemetery is. But out that way, there's the main road that leads to the cemetery and to the Monad Park area. Sorry about the noise. My nose is getting clogged up. I gotta spit. Sorry. And you can see out there cars, but they can't see you.
So yeah, he's about right here now. So that would make the deer stand roughly here. Kind of where you can see down this way and this way. So kind of makes like a triangle there. Hold on, I think we have somebody calling in. Hello, is that you, Savannah?
It is. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, give me one moment here.
Okay.
All right.
We're
Hey, how's it going? What can I do for you?
Oh, I'm good. I was just listening in. Great show as always.
Thank you.
I was just thinking like there's a few ways that the Anthony Shots account could possibly be connected, like without it being Kegan Klein or whatever.
Okay.
One way is like I remember I think it was like his cousin that called into the murder sheet or something, and he said that the cops wanted he had bought like a iPad off of Keegan or something, and the cops wanted to question him or like and he gave him the iPad.
I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, well, I think that's where he called in, but I'm not sure. It might have been a Greeno show, but I can't remember. But like if he hadn't logged off of his accounts and stuff, then that person like could possibly have access to his accounts without him like knowing that they're like watching him.
Yeah, I agree. Could even access the accounts from their own home computer.
Yeah, but I don't know how like the IP addresses would go if like Keegan had it signed in at his house and
Mhm.
another person had it signed in at a different place. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, he would have to kind of pull up to the location, maybe out front or somewhere nearby.
Yeah. Or and then the other way I was thinking is like if Libby and her friend got in a fight at that party or whatever, um like girls can be like really mean and stuff. So like if there was other girls there and like Libby and that girl got in a fight and Kelsey came and picked her up, like they could easily like Snapchat has a feature where you can like basically say that you're somebody else and not be that person and snap somebody like as a different person.
Really?
I think it's called ghosting or something. You can look up on YouTube like
That's horrible.
so like I don't know, like I always get like the whole vibe from like that Slender Man
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, so do I. That's the whole mean teen theory.
Plus, like Julie Melvin said that there was 4 girls there, right?
I can't remember. I just know one of the girls, or maybe where the location was. Actually, I don't know the location, but I know one of the girls that was at this specific sleepover is the connect is connected to Libby and is also connected to Kegan Klein.
Right. So I was just wondering if like those 4 girls that I think she said that they had like just barely missed them on the trail or something,
They were down. They were actually down below.
right?
That's what Julie said.
Well, like that, so that could potentially like line up, and then say one of those girls gave like the sketch or something that would like throw people off. Plus, they could have also like invited the Anthony Shots account to their house and then called the cops and been like, "Oh, this person was like looking in my window," you know?
Yeah, that's what made me curious, and that's where the whole mean teen theory comes from. I have no facts. I have nothing that would really back up that theory. I just know that I've proven time and time again that with the events that I shared on my channel that these things do happen. So if somebody was mad enough or jealous enough, yeah, they could have orchestrated this killing, and they could have known that, like I said, they knew Keegan Klein. He could have been catfishing them, and they could have just been toying with him, but knew it was him this entire time without Keegan Klein being aware. So they're like, okay, they could be responsible for the shadow stalking. So there's
Yeah.
another source.
And then they could
Potentially.
also be like, "Oh, did you hear what happened to Libby?" And been like, because I don't think they have any like, from what it seemed like in the transcript, they said that he was supposed to meet up with the girls and they didn't show or whatever.
hmm
That could like all be like those girls like messing with the accounts if they could just
Yeah.
ghost people from Snapchat. And then the other thing is in the transcripts, everyone takes them as gospel, but I'm pretty sure cops lie a ton when they're
hmm
questioned, like to try to get them.
Well, Yeah, look at, and we're gonna pull up the Ron Logan transcripts here in a little bit, just one page, but I mean, it was a whole salesman pitch.
Well, and like one of the things the cop said in the transcripts, it was like something about how Kegan told Libby it's not like something about it not being his fault why he's attracted to her or something. But Gray had said that the mom of that one girl had sent early on him over the messages that were going between her and Anthony Schatz.
I remember this.
And that's exactly what the message was he said that to that girl. So I'm wondering if they're like using like that because it's something that he knows he would have said, and then just like acting like he said it to Libby just because he wouldn't remember who he was sending it to.
Yeah, and he kind of says that in the transcripts. And I don't know what to believe when it comes to Keegan, but to me, the part that seems honest from him, he seems oblivious of who's using his profiles. He's like, yeah, he's like, but it could have been me. He's like, man, I was catfishing. Like, yeah, I do a lot of weird stuff when I'm catfishing, but I definitely don't remember that part.
Yeah, and then the Marathon gas station search too. Like that doesn't really like ring true to me because one, they didn't ever bring it up when they were questioning him, and like why wouldn't that be like if they knew that he was searching that, like wouldn't that put him right in Delphi on that day? Like wouldn't that be like that's a big thing they could totally
Yeah,
arrest?
maybe he was in Delphi though. So maybe that like throws a wrench. If that information is true, then that throws a wrench in the mean team theory.
Well, no, I know. I look at it from like a bunch of different angles. So,
Mhm.
but that just it doesn't seem like that is a true thing that that happened or whatever because why wouldn't they have brought it up when they were questioning him?
Yeah, they would. Well, I mean, they make mention of a story, and it's strange that they included the gas station in there. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah, about the robbery or something.
They say, let's say we got this guy on tape. What if at that point maybe they at one point had him on tape and then they lost that evidence. But they're like, and this is where I knew Keegan was smarter than everybody thought because it's like he knew they lost it. They said, okay, hypothetically, somebody walks in, robs a place, and kills a guy. We got him. We got this evidence. We got him on camera. And Kegan Klein goes, well, yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? Take him to court and show that evidence?
But like also, I think he's saying like if you guys had that, like then show it to me. Like why would you guys be in here talking to me if you had
Yeah,
that?
we wouldn't even be having this conversation if you had that. So it's like he's like, I wonder if he knew that they lost that.
How would he know though? Like I don't
'Cause
think
he's connected. What if he's nobody big, but if he's connected to a pedal ring, and this is all hypothetical conspiracy, rumor mill stuff, but let's say he is connected to this pedal ring, which it sounds like he is, right? In the transcripts.
no, yeah,
Um,
I think
so
that's
what
very
if he's catching bits and pieces of what's really going on with these, I guess, bigger players? He kind of has a little bit of the information. It's kind of falling, just kind of sprinkling down underneath the table. He's picking up these crumbs. So he knows a little bit about what's going on, and he knows that if he needs to, for their benefit, they're going to use their power, not for Keegan, but they know that it's either we got to kill this guy to shut him up. And now we can't because he's in custody, but how do we keep him happy, and how do we keep our names from being exposed, I guess?
but like what does it mean to be part of a pedo ring? Like it doesn't mean you go and everybody's like talking. It means like you're like digitally connected or sharing or whatever. So I don't know
hmm
how people hear about what's going on in the case like from that like in that aspect. Do you know what I mean?
Like, why would they be communicating that way?
Yeah,
Well,
like
I think it's because they know each other in real life. Like, let's say his father, like his dad was connected to the famous race car driver, right?
oh, I didn't know that, but
Yeah, he's related to a semi-famous race car driver. So that guy is kind of in that famous circle who then might be connected to somebody a little bit higher up. So that puts Keegan already in a kind of a broad circle of who may come in contact with him. But why would they communicate? Because they communicate like normal in code here in person. But behind the scenes, they're like, "Okay, Kegan, I'm coming. You know, I'm coming with the fake account. I know what you do. What do you have for me? Like, what did you get me this week?"
No,
And
yeah, that
then
makes more
stuff
sense
like
if
that.
dad was
Yeah.
personally friends with someone. Also, did you hear that phone call? I forget who it was to or whatever, where the dad's
A
friend called.
friend? Yeah, I don't buy that. That guy sounds like a tweaker to me.
Dude, that guy, like, towards the end, I started being like, what if that guy is connected or whatever? And so he's trying to be like, oh, it wasn't the Kleins because he knows that they connect to him.
Well, yeah, he sounded like some strange busy guy. Like, what's he doing? Why is his phone He's like, "I go through 3 batteries," or something like that. Like, why? Who
I was
does that? To
I'm
me, I
like,
was like, "This guy's a
you
tw
need a
only
new battery.
tweakers do that."
You need a new battery because like you're
Yeah,
both.
he's like a tweaker troll or something, you know? Maybe he's using 2 phones too, like, maybe he's one of these, um, pedophile guys, like you said.
Oh, it's so like gross. Like, I can't. It's like I don't think that we could ever like understand it, because there's really like no good reason to kill two girls, and so it's just like we try to understand, but it's like it's never really gonna make sense because
My
we're
best understanding of it is just from listening to FBI profilers and what they write in their, bulletins and stuff, but it's all fantasy. We know that if Kegan Klein was involved in this, even if he killed them, if he was directly involved, he still potentially could have been a killer later on down the road. You know, he has that MO where he's evolving like a Ted Bundy, you know. But the MO of these guys basically says that it's all fantasy. And using Kagan as an example, he's been doing it since 2014, where he's living these fantasies, and the only way he gets attention is by becoming these different characters. You know what I mean?
I don't really think it's him just because he like very quickly gave everything up on himself about the CSAM stuff. Like he didn't even try to really get out of that. He just like was like, "Yep, that I did that."
But all killers do that. You know, they always tell the side of the story that they know the police have, and then they leave out the hardcore stuff to try to lessen their responsibility in a crime.
Yeah,
Most first interrogations, if you watch them, that's how they are. And then after they busted the guy and he's finally coming clean, they're completely different people at that point.
yeah. True, true. Oh, and the last thing about the Mean Girls theory or whatever is there's like a news clip where they're talking to the neighbors about like what happened, and one of
Mhm.
the ladies, she moved there from California. I think her name was Jennifer Robinson or something, but I can't remember exactly what her name was. But she said that her daughter or her kid was friends with Libby, and that's like the house like right that would I think be able to see the crime scene, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Oh, I know who you're referring to. She did 2 interviews like the day after. She's got the real curly hair.
I can't remember if her hair is curly, but I know she was saying that she wouldn't let her kids play in the yard or whatever, and they didn't understand why.
Is she the same lady that said that her son would always go out and kinda, like, get, like, a cup of coffee and go out and kinda look over the creek? And basically, like, around the same time the girls went missing, and I guess they had a conversation amongst themselves that she explains that he could have just missed them.
That's weird. No, I
Mhm.
that's weird though.
Yeah, I have that video. I'll have to play it. I'll
Yeah.
post it up one of these days if I remember.
Okay. Well, I was just calling in to say what's up and
Well, thanks, Savannah. I appreciate it. It's always good talking with you. We kind of we got a good back and forth, and we seem to be kind of on the same page with things.
yeah, I think we're just like both open-minded to like listening and hearing about like what it could possibly be, you know?
Yeah, because we don't know. We really don't know. But I think the more people like you and I talk about it, um, I think it makes this whoever did do this kind of nervous if he's like hearing us and he's like, "Oh man, these guys they're kind of close, but they're not." Like I have fantasies about that, that he's listening and he just can't really rest well, at night, stuff like that.
I hope it's like that, but I don't.
Yeah, me too. Thanks again, Savannah. I appreciate it. Hope to hear from you again soon.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, take care. Bye. Wow. 2 great calls today, guys. Let me do my best to catch up with chat. Thank you again, Savannah. Her YouTube channel is Don't Hate Create. Go check her out. Oh, looks like Fig's in the house. What's up, Fig? Good to see you. And let's jump
Too
right
far
back
back.
to Randy's video.
Be able to see. So, go through this trail here. Continue. Heading towards Logan's property and the cemetery. You can see there's all kinds of tree limbs. Hard to walk through without killing yourself. And so you can tell people walk through here. You can see the indent of the trail where people walk through. There's that retired Marine. He did mushroom hunting over here, and that's why he was telling me that there is a trail from the cemetery and to the bridge. So continue to walk this way through this trail. Now,
Good point, Anna.
there's 2 different ways people can start seeing you through here. Is over here, you see the cornfield, and the cemetery is just right over there on the corner. So I'm going to go that way now. You see these trees, I'm going to have to step over,
Yeah, that's very
get
possible.
over to
William.
the one trail. I have to step over that. There's a new line index. Tree limbs on the ground. Now, there's the fence line. Stops there between the cornfield and cemetery. Go around this way.
Thanks, Lola. Oh, outside of the grid. Yes.
And you can tell
Me as
there
well.
is a lot of tree limbs right here in the way. But I'll go this way, around.
Anna, from my understanding, it happened 10 days prior to the crime. That comes from a Facebook post from Becky Patty. Yeah, thanks again, Savannah. Good to hear from you.
Get through.
Back to back. Great callers. Thank you, William and Savannah, for calling in.
And here I am. I'm at the cemetery. And there's the cemetery. You can see where the fence is on Logan's side. It's on this side here. That's Logan. And then the cemetery. They would have had to go down the hill here. Back up. Because on the other side, let me see if I can find a good way to get over there. Let's see here. Let me go around this way. Maybe a good spot. I think so. Alright.
Yeah, what's up, Pig?
Yeah, I see a pretty spot here. Hold on, let me get 2 across here. This guy with a gun would have had a different way to get up there. But I'll find a way.
Thanks for the super chat, Radar. Hey, what's up, Crime Geek? Good to see you.
A safer way for me to get up there. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, I think Randy was on the Mears property only. He most likely had permission to be there.
Alright, I'm on the other side. Now you did see the bikes and stuff was down below. So I'm going to this side hill. A safe way up. Going this way. There's some stuff over here. Now it could be possibly. I could have got something over here, but I'm on the other side.
Randy's video is a little choppy.
And picture this. Okay, so they come over here, go on Mr. Logan's property, or decide the same way I went, come over here to the cemetery. And I'm right where I parked my car next to this tree, the big tree here. So either way, I can still get on either side because the fence split, but it'd be more fixing to go up that hill. But if they did, or the camp they would have to come down here and come to this gate.
I think his
Because
audio.
they would have to make sure their transportation is still here. Of course, you can tell the hilly slope going up, and you get farther back where this fence gate is. This is a treacherous walk. But you get back here, there is a sign that says,
Wow, that's a good point, Anna. Yeah, if there was a giant bear sitting out in the middle of the woods, the search party would have seen it right away. Good point.
no trespassing. And, well, I guess not. They don't lock it. Ron Logan doesn't lock this gate. That's kind of interesting. I know there was a lock on this. That is interesting. There's no lock on this gate. So they could have walked through this gate, opened up without them knowing. So, then,
Good job on this video, by the way, Randy.
stops here at the cemetery. To the killer, or whoever killed Liberty and Abby. We know you're watching. We're waiting for you to message me somehow. Tell me your story. Which way did you go? I can kind of prove how you went, but people believe you crossed the creek on the other side. But it would be pretty hard for you to walk across the creek if you had a gun or whatever in your hand, if you didn't know how to walk across that creek, if there's holes and stuff like that. And trying to watch the two girls. But if you're chicken shit, killed yourself, you don't want to face your justice.
I like this
You
part.
better be alive. Show your face to prove who you really are. So the people of Delphi can end this murder of what you did to two girls. Well, that's about it. I see y'all later. Bye.
Thanks, Randy. Wow, we've already gone through an hour. That's ridiculous. Hold on a second. I need to check something. All right. Should be good for another 45 minutes. All right, let me catch up on chat and then we'll keep it moving because of time. Thanks, Randy, for that. As Randy showed, it's not an easy task running up and down to the cemetery and back down to the. And he didn't even go near the crime scene. In order to get to the crime scene, you got to go down a much steeper hill. You can see that on some of the old footage with Ron Logan when he's walking with McAdams and they're going down this steep hill. But now what I want to get into is the topic of souvenir trophies and the staging. I want to get your opinion on all of that. I got some notes that I want to read. We'll pull up Ron Logan's affidavit as well. Well, at least one page where they mention it.
Moves their skins, Agent Starling. Thrill me with your acumen.
It excites him. Most serial killers keep some sort of trophies from their victims.
I didn't.
No. No, you ate yours.
You send that.
So it says, many serial killers become so enamored by their own crimes that they take souvenirs and trophies from their victims. Sometimes these are simple as an item of clothing. Other times it's a body part or piece of personal identification. I got the body part stuff from Dahmer. The BTK, he would take, I think, driver's licenses from his victims. But why do criminals do this? It seems like a strange thing to do, especially in cases where the person has made extra efforts in other areas not to get caught, such as clearing evidence from the crime scene that may link them to do it, or disposing of other evidence such as a weapon used or clothing worn during the crime itself. So I've said, you guys, if you've been watching my channel here on YouTube, I say it over and over again. The same thing that makes these people commit these types of crimes will be the very thing that gets them caught in the end. The infamous bind, torture, kill murderer Dennis Rader made copies of the driver's licenses of several of his victims and would mail them to police, along with taunting letters and photographs. It was the writing on these letters that led police to eventually track him. Okay, so it's almost subconsciously like they want to be caught. Possibly. I don't know if we're going to have time today. Well, I've lost complete control of the chat. Sorry. Just too much going on. I even put a delay on it. I have to make it from 20 seconds to 40 seconds, I think. William says, Ron Logan would have never had the stamina to navigate through all that wooded area. I mean, not back and forth. But if he was maybe a little liquored up, hanging out on the deer stand, sees two girls, you know, and he just kind of moseys over there, I think he could possibly commit the murder and cross that creek and get back to his location. But there's only one catch. He had already been up that day. He was at the dump. He would have had to commit the crime and then went and did like two more things. That's, to me, makes it impossible. Or at least unlikely. All right, so souvenirs are usually things you collect to remember, you know, when you're on vacation, places you visited, or, you know, given as gifts to loved ones after a vacation. But of course, serial killers, they take souvenirs to a whole other level, taking mementos of their grisly attacks to remind them of who is in control. Now, the control aspect comes in with the trophy or souvenir is because they get to say when they're going to relive the crime. It reminds them of how they were in total control of somebody else's existence, and most likely the adrenaline we hear about from serial killers and the addiction. So this person will most likely do it again if he gets away with it. It's still early, so he hasn't gotten away with it yet. So let's take a look at the Ron Logan. Looks like lines 6 through 11. So here at the top, it says it was also discovered that the blank of one of the victims was missing from the crime scene while the rest of their clothing was recovered. It also appeared the girls' bodies were moved and staged. Now, this is a seasoned FBI agent who wrote this affidavit here. And she writes, based upon my training and experience, it is common for perpetrators of this type of crime to take a souvenir or in some fashion memorialize the crime scene, whether by photos or electronic or digital methods that are then downloaded onto computers, storage devices, tablets, phones, iPad devices, or other electronic devices that store digital data for later viewing, scanning, or copying. Now, they learn this while they're training to become an FBI agent. They learn all the tricks and the trades of these serial killers, what makes them tick. So that's the part I wanted to focus in on. So that reminded me of a case. Let me pull up that information here. Actually, let me finish my notes here because I did put some on the staging and the posing. Actually, no, I'm going to show this clip real quick. We may have a caller. Give me a moment. Hello, is that you, Crime Geek?
It's me. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I've had better days, but I'm glad to be alive. Finally caught something of you being live. So, hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well.
What can I do for you?
Well, I've been digging into this case more and more, and forgive me if this is old news. I know it probably is, but the more I see, the more questions I have, as everyone else does. But there's something I came across just yesterday, and I'm sure you've seen it, but it's a snapshot, and it basically states there was people underneath the bridge partying or just gathering, I guess people doing drugs, what have you. I don't know, but they mentioned some names. So I want to talk about it because I can't find much about it online other than a few snapshots. Maybe you guys know more than I do. It mentions Tina Raddell's daughter, Megan Allen, was in the area, and then Kegan Callis, Travis Janaki, I'm sorry, I butchered that probably, Tyler French, Anthony Greeno, and David Lucas was spotted there, and it just really bothers me, as you probably know why.
Before we dive into that, just consider the source.
It was a Reddit post.
Okay. I've heard these rumors. I've had people shovel me strange emails trying to persuade me of certain things. And I've taken the time to scan through all the information. I haven't found anything factual to back that up.
Okay. Yeah, because it really bothers me because of some of the names. So I've also heard a lot of rumor about like a certain somebody being missing for a few days, and then he was in Delphi and his phone pinged at the bridge, and I'm like having nightmares about it. I'm like shaking thinking about it. So I don't know if you know what I'm insinuating, but it just really bothers me to no end. And
Are you insinuating that Anthony Greeno should be considered a person of interest in the Delphi murders?
yeah, I'm gonna say it since you already know. I'm really bothered by a lot of things that and of course I'm his ex-girlfriend, so I would have never thought I'd be the one commenting this and just kind of questioning it, because there's a lot of things that I don't understand, and a lot of things that are missing around that time for him, and it just doesn't make any sense. And then why would he make a fake alibi of a case on my case on Indiana that he got, he was in Tippecanoe County and then it's gone. I tried finding this case and it's not there. He fabricated it. I'm like, why would you have to fabricate an alibi? So I can't talk to him. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm terrified of him. And I'm not communicating with him anymore, but I have a lot of questions at the same time. So I figured maybe reaching out and letting everybody know that I've seen some things and I just don't know what's wrong, what's right and what's wrong, and why are things missing? Why are emails missing? Why is he fabricating information? Why was he all of a sudden there when he was supposed to be in South Carolina it was just so weird. Why is his brother looking for him and he's gone for days? His other sister's saying that he's missing for weeks. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I have more questions than answers, and I would have never thought I'd be the person to be asking these things.
So you're saying from your perspective, you're able to see things and verify certain parts of this, this, I guess, Greeno story?
Yes, but I just don't know why would he lie about it? Like, his phone pinged at the bridge. He says it was because he was on his way down to Lafayette. But no one can verify that.
And I don't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
Yeah, it's okay.
But we do have to be careful because you are this person's ex-girlfriend, correct?
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm.
And don't you think an ex-girlfriend would be the first to try to maybe jump on that whole?
Oh no, we broke
Greeno
up in this week, this summer. I mean, I just finally started talking and letting people. I started listening to their stories finally, because I shunned a lot of people to leave me alone, and now I'm listening, and now I wonder why.
So you're being influenced.
In a
I
way,
don't know,
but I'm
Anthony.
also getting.
Let me
But I
make this
also
clear
have
to
a lot of
everybody
people
who's.
showing me information as well. Like, it's not like.
And real
Yeah.
quick, I just want to make something clear. I don't know Anthony Greeno very well. I was on 2 of his shows, so I don't speak for the guy. But I've also know what happens behind the scenes, and I know how people try to influence you behind the scenes. They
It could.
bombard you and they threaten you, and they
No,
tell you
he's
if you don't do certain things, we're gonna expose you.
Well, that's the thing. It's really unfortunate. You have a good point, which is all taken with a grain of salt. That's why I have so many questions. And no, I don't talk to As Above, So Below, whoever that guy is. I've heard of him, but no, I do not. I'm not affiliated with him at all. I've never spoken to him. So it's not him at all. But I mean, these are people that know him more than he knows himself, probably. It's not about me. I have a lot of questions now. I've been threatened about a lot of things, and I just started seeing and opening my eyes and started looking at things deeper, and things just don't make sense. And I don't think he's BG. I'm not saying that. I'm just wondering why he's been.
Well, I'm not saying he's not, and he could.
Yeah.
He lives. There are some suspicious things that do go on, and a lot of the information that's being passed around behind the scenes, it really needs to be verified before you can go that route. Like, even the information that I had in regards to Julian Powell, I don't go around spreading that information, even though it's very compelling, because I can't verify a lot of it. So bold statements, you got to have some really good evidence to back that up, to say something like that is all I'm saying.
Well, I do. I just can't. I can't go public about everything. Unfortunately, it's not.
But we're listening. If there's anything you want to say, if we're listening.
I'm asking questions. Really, you don't have to think like me. I just want people to start thinking. And I'm not doing a vendetta because of an ex-girlfriend. There's certain things between him and I that I have some things I have to deal with him. But as just a person that just came into this case because of, him, I was watching his YouTube, and now I'm starting to realize, and dig, and I just don't understand why there's certain things that don't make sense. And where was he? I just don't understand. That's a big deal. If he has something to do with it, or even if he knows something, and maybe somebody, or these people, who are these people? Who was Travis?
That's such a creepy thought. Just because while you're talking about this, I'm watching him in my mind, those videos where he's like running up the hills and stuff.
There's emails that are missing.
I don't know what that means, missing emails. What are you referring to?
The whole month of February to May in 2017, it's gone. Nothing. And he can sue me all he wants. I don't care. There's certain things that don't make sense. And
That's
I'm
interesting.
asking the right questions, okay? And I don't care if people criticize me. I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified because of the things that he said
Yeah,
to
we're
me.
listening.
So I have to go public about certain things. Now, I'm sorry. He's a horrible person.
Why
Besides
are
him
you
not being
apologizing?
because I just feel
Don't
like I don't want to get
apologize.
emotional, but like I would be the last person to be saying these things. But now people don't see like everything that I have, and it's really disturbing. And I've tried to insinuate things that get people to start asking the right questions because I don't know everything, but I'm trying to get the right people to talk to me because they know. And I'm just terrified of him. And whoever he's affiliated with, who knows who was under that bridge. I have nothing to do with So Below, whatever his name is. He was talking about some people with under the bridge. But I've also seen different places online stating that there was some Tina person in Allen. Who are they? What are their stories? Who is Travis? Who's Tyler? Who's David? Like, who are these people? And why haven't we seen them more talked about? Like, that's a big deal. The day of the murders, some people say they were there. And there was other kids there, too. I mean, there's got to be more stories. Like, I just don't understand. Why is this taking so long?
Well, there was a case where there was a ring of gentlemen who were trafficking women, and I use the word gentleman in a sarcastic way or anything but. But what they did was they murdered somebody who was trying to convince the other girls to get out of the racket. You know, you need to leave this. It's not the way to go. So what these guys did is they killed the young lady. They filmed it not in typical senses of a snuff film, because I think a snuff film is something that's created for monetary gain. I think that's somewhere in the definition. I could be wrong. But what they did was they used it. They brought all the girls into a room and they showed this video to all the girls. And they were so terrified. They refused to testify. They never spoke of it, and they continued on. They're probably there till this day.
Wow. I thank you for letting me on because I didn't even mean to say everything so much, but it just kind of word vomits, I guess. And I
Well,
have a
we never
question.
really had we never really had like I guess a backstage pass to what you're going through. And in the Delphi, I hate to call it the Delphi community. That sounds so stupid. But we're all familiar with what he does, who he is. So we hear all these rumors. It sounds like hate. You're telling us now from your perspective, and you know him better than probably anybody, really. You're saying a lot of those are not rumors and that certain things that you've seen are very suspicious. Now, those are bold statements. Are you planning on coming out at some point and kind of backing these claims up?
I'm in the process of that right now.
Okay.
It's a lot. So
You had a question. I'm sorry.
I did? No,
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry. No, I have questions in general, and I'm trying to ask the right ones to get people to start thinking and circle back because it shouldn't be this complicated. You know, I've seen a lot of different lives and different YouTube creators that are very good at analyzing and asking great questions. And then it should be a lot more simple. And I feel like this is like a Mission Impossible Twilight Zone case. I mean, it's absolutely a hot mess, to say the least. And, you know, I just have a lot of questions regarding certain people in general. And, you know, in particular who I'm talking about. But I'm trying to be safe
Okay,
about
hold
it.
that thought. Hold that thought 1 second. I think we have somebody calling in. Is this Savannah?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Savannah. I just wanted
Um,
to make sure it was you. You got
Okay.
something to add?
All I was gonna say is, I'm sorry for like whatever you're going through and stuff. And I think a lot of people have asked those questions about Greeno. Personally, I definitely have thought it because his voice. Sometimes I think his voice sounds like it, but really, like, you don't have to figure that out. You just have to call the tip line and tell them all the stuff that you are worried about, and like that they can take care of it. Because everybody on this that's listening to this or whatever, like, we are just like trying to figure stuff out from like the back seat. And so really, like, we don't need to be asking questions about him. Like, if you're worried about it, I think that you should tip everything in for sure.
Well, thank you. I just recently, about a couple weeks ago, about a week or half an ago, something really went down because I was on a chat and just I got really triggered because someone was saying how great he is and I can't wait to hear him again. And I'm like, oh my God, they have no idea. They have no idea. And so I'm like shouting from the rooftops and nobody's batting an eye, I feel like, and that's how I feel. But when I'm in the chat, and so it just,
I
I
think
said some things and then he started threatening me and he's basically, I'm just going to say it. I mean, I have proof. I'm in the middle of a restraining order. So he's literally, I mean, this is something civil, but it has to be known publicly because I didn't know how to even tell people because I'm like, the sheriff hasn't, I called the sheriff. I'm like, you do know he's doing this on your phone in your jail, right? They
well,
know.
they
He said he's a serial killer and that he's going to kill mass people. He's going to kidnap their children and torture them and beat them to death.
I think
So,
I think maybe people are like less phased by it because uh there's been a lot of drama with Reno, so for sure like he's
yeah.
been tipped in and uh so just like what you're worried about, I would say like bring it to the cops. But
Yeah.
other than that, like none of us are going to be able to tell you like anything more. And I'm sure that being in a relationship, I mean, like I've been in domestic relationships that are bad and they suck and stuff, but um definitely like tip it in. But other than that, I think he's definitely been looked at by like a lot of people. So if you feel like you're falling on deaf ears, maybe that could possibly be why.
Possibly. And so I've talked to so many, but it's not just that. Like, that's just his character I'm trying to explain. But it's just like, I feel like I'm being patronized a lot in the law enforcement community. I finally got a deputy to listen to me for 2 hours and file some stuff legally because I don't know, I have to paper trail, but like there's certain questions that arise of like, why does he have no emails? Where are these time frame, like where are the timestamps? Where were you, Greeno? Like, why are you being questioned on why you were at the bridge that day from law enforcement? Why did they pull you in? Why did they question you these things? Like, I don't understand why he's connected to the Kleins. They asked him that. Now he could just be lying to
Real
me.
quick, Crime Geek, because I try to
Yeah,
keep away
sorry.
from. I just try to. It's kind of getting into the drama realm,
There's
but I
so many
also don't want to,
questions.
and I don't want to take away your voice. But we shouldn't. This is something you shouldn't have questions about. This should be something you're helping us understand with all the answers that you have.
Or just take those questions to law enforcement
Yeah, not
because
us. Why us? That's what puts it in the drama spectrum. Is why tell us that? Are you just trying to make us aware of what he's
I
capable
guess so.
of? Or
I think, yeah, there's a part of me that
okay,
I'm like screaming from the rooftops in a way. But besides that, yes, I mean, given the fact that I just mentioned, I've already told knows about this, that he's threatening to kill people
well,
in
what
my
happened to his
family.
channel?
Like, he doesn't
Where's
care about what I think after what
isn't
he's
his
shoved under the rug. I mean, literally, he told me to go down and see what I have to do down here. He's not doing shit about it in his place. Excuse my
he,
language.
hmm.
He doesn't care if he's threatening to kill people on his own jail time, like on his own watch. So I know I can't trust Tobe. I can't trust the detective that patronized me. I
I
can't
think
trust Delphi to do
they
anything.
they have looked at him. I think that like because a lot of people have gone against him, so I know that like I know for a fact he's been tipped in probably a ton of times. And I think Sleuth, I think his channel got taken down because probably I think you can report a channel and enough people reported his videos that they got taken down. I'm pretty sure.
Mm. Oh, like a mass flag type situation.
Yeah.
Right, because he's had like attack campaigns against him like tons of times, you know?
Yeah, and I don't want to be part of that because I don't know the guy. People are always coming at me like
No.
they're saying that what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but they're basically saying that I'm supporting him by not condemning him. I don't know the guy. That's like me condemning either one of you two. Like
Well, and
I don't really know you guys, but I don't know you well enough to condemn either one of you.
I don't support him like personally, but like because I don't know him personally. I see that he does a lot of stuff, and definitely I wouldn't go out with the guy because clearly that's not a good choice. But like his content and his videos, like they were good, and I think having them all taken down was actually like a disservice to the case, kind of. But like also, I don't think. I mean, I can't say anything on him personally. I definitely see how people could be against him, but I don't know. Like I know he's been looked at, so I would just say if you have concerns, tip it into the cops. But other
I
than that,
did.
that's all
All
I
I
have.
do is get patronized.
So
I
nobody else needs to look into it besides them, you know?
I've even called the tip line because of weird things happening, and it's just it goes to deaf ears. And I think that's why I'm here. Like I'm trying. I have questions, and it's not just him. Who are these people? Who is Kegan Klein? Who is Travis
Well,
Janicki? Tyler French? Like who are these people?
I don't know who those people are, but I don't
I've
think
never
that
heard
they
of him.
like on social media. Like you should probably just not like say people's names that we really don't know if they have anything to do with anything.
I don't know, but I'm just.
Yeah, you did come out here and just start blasting a bunch of people's names.
But that's the questions. I mean,
I'm not.
I told you that's what I wanted to ask about the people under the bridge. And then Anthony just happened to be one of the names, so that ended up going in that direction. But we still need to be asking these questions. Who are these people under the bridge? And who is Tina Rodell and her daughter Megan? And I've seen a lot of things about that. And that's some Tina got like her kid taken away about it.
Like all those questions have definitely been asked. I know if you're coming into this later, then you wouldn't know that. But if you just keep looking, like there's tons of eyes, and everybody has seen like whatever social media posts there are about. Like people have seen it, and it's been tipped in. Probably. I'm not saying don't tip your stuff in. I do think you should tip that in. Always tip in anything if you think it's nothing or you think it's something. Tip it in just in case. But other than that, I would say that like everybody's looked at that aspect. I think.
All right, guys, I'm gonna give you the last little thing, Crime Geek. If you nothing on Anthony Greeno, but if you need a public announcement, I think that don't hate, create, put it into perspective. This is information directly that needs to go to law enforcement. I'm not sure. And if these people that are under the bridge, I mean, if we don't have proof or we don't have anything we can show right here on the screen, we probably shouldn't be blasting the names out.
It's not, I'm asking questions, but yes, there are certain things I do have proof on. I'm sorry it went into whatever you think it might have been, but these are good questions and with a very bad character person that I know.
Who's under the bridge? Who's under the bridge? And
I
where
don't
do
know.
you
That's
get,
what I'm wondering.
well,
like,
hold on one second. Where are you getting the information that there's people under a bridge?
I keep seeing like there's posts on Reddit and snapshots from other conversations on Facebook with these people. And then it went from Tina Rodell, which I don't know who she is, but I've seen a video someone sent me about her daughter Megan Allen or Tina Allen. I'm not sure if it's correct. I came into this case this year, so like I don't really know as much as you guys are probably 5 years caught up, of course, but why haven't we talked about these people before? Like, I'm trying to figure out who are these people? Why have they been shoved?
Those people, I don't know who you're talking about. So without any kind of reference, I can't really, it feels strange to just keep hearing these names. You keep saying the names. Why do you keep using these people's names out there like that? That's confusing to me.
It is too. That's exactly where my frustrations are as well. But
why do you keep saying the names?
We're doing here? Like,
yeah,
I don't understand why I'm being criticized on asking questions with names because people go and do opacities with Bridge Guy and they're like the sketches all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be.
Go ahead.
I just say like maybe like I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I like 100% like feel you, and like I would just say that maybe like people are not receptive to it because like it has been looked into, and then just like be happy that you're not with him anymore, and like definitely if you
Yeah,
see
good
any
for
chicks
you.
that are like looking into him, definitely like warn them. But other than that, like you just gotta like cut your losses, and you can tip in what you need to tip in, and then other than that, that's all you can do really.
And I appreciate it. I'm not even like, I'm just frustrated. Like, I just had a question about, like, and I don't know why I'm getting criticized about asking about names, because that's what people do all the time on these creators, especially with Delphi. I mean,
Mhm.
there's been hundreds of names thrown across the board. And
But
I've
just not
got,
randomly. I mean, I don't think I've ever come on a live stream and just randomly said, this person, that person, this person was all under the bridge. We need to investigate these people.
And just because it's been done before doesn't mean that we should like continue to do it, like because it does cause harm to these
but I've
people.
never seen it done. That's why I'm like, I'm asking these questions. I'm getting shoved and patronized just like everybody else has been.
Well,
And I
if you
feel like it's
if you
deaf ears again. I thought this would be the right platform to do it. Oh well, I mean, it's fine. If you guys think I'm all about anti-Greeno, it's not just about that. He's a
So
terrible person, but that's my own. You can do whatever you want. But
okay.
I'm
if
trying to ask
Well,
about.
Crime Geek, hold on. Don't hold on, Savannah. Crime Geek, I want to thank you. You're welcome to come on and speak whenever you'd like to. So I appreciate you coming on today. Enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
You too, dear. Bye.
Bye. Savannah, I appreciate you calling back in to kind of try to get us back in on track. I appreciate that. That type of information needs to go directly to the tip line, and it is in the description of this video.
yeah, for
Is there
everything in.
anything else you want to say, Savannah?
Nope, that's it. So bye.
All right, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, we got way off topic on this one. So the moral of that story is some people feel Greeno is a bad guy. I personally don't know him, so don't ask me. But if you got something to say, I'm not going to shun you away. Now let's see if we can get back on track here. Actually, I may be out of time. So I'm going to show one more video, and then we're going to close it out in the comments because I have about 10 minutes left here. And thank you, Crime Geek, for calling in. I hope that you call in again. You're welcome on this channel anytime, okay? Just in case there was any confusion about it. So from what we hear, that's pretty much something similar that happened. Crossing of the arms. I guess that's something killers do. Jim's like, oh, horse shit. Jim, I think, is a fan of Anthony Greeno. Yeah, if those are rich claims. I'm going to need some proof for that kind of stuff around here. Thanks, William. I thought I could have handled it a little better. But I didn't want to be disrespectful to Crime Geek because I know she's a genuine person. Some people can be influenced, so I know how that feels. It happens to the best of us. Not saying that she is being influenced, but I mean, she said that she was being. But she could be spot on. So we will respect that and keep an open mind about it all. Thank you, Tom. Tom's like, I would have hung up. Tom must be a fan of Greeno as well. See, that's how you handle it. Raider's like, I know all those names. I will fill you in. And she knows how to get a hold of me behind the scenes. So I look forward to that, Radar. Please let me know what she was referring to. I would like to have some kind of context. Hey, baby bear. Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Yep, I watched a lot of Greeno's stuff too. I never once thought to like peek into his background. But I mean, it's good to know who you're talking to. I have Apophis says, Crime Geek, contact me if you want your story told. There you go. You seek and you shall find. Not a serial murder case. I hope not. I mean, imagine if every serial killer got caught on their first kill. Are they a serial killer? Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes. Oh my God, Olivia, I didn't speak to her anyway. You don't know. You guys, this is not a drama channel. Don't come here for that stuff. If you got a problem with it, just get out of here. I can't handle the negativity. I'm not going to do it. If I see one more comment like this, you're gone. Greeno's like, hey, what's up? Did I miss all that? Sure, you got a kick out of that. Mean girl theory. Yeah, and that's the thing that gets me with that whole thought process is injecting yourself into a crime. Killers do that stuff. It's the ego. Whatever caused them to want to go out there and gain that power is the same thing that makes them want to get in front of the news camera and say, oh, I knew that person. You know, she was great. Time and time again, we've seen it. Killers will inject. There was a story where a guy had just killed his mother. Across the street was like this huge canal or like lake. And he killed her and dumped her in there. In the news, everybody was searching for her. And here comes the crazy, and he looks crazy. He looks like a skinny Tony Klein. And he's like, I don't know. He's like giving his opinion on the situation. And come to find out, he's the murderer. How crazy is that? Thanks, Jim. Left a very sick feeling in my stomach. Everybody, you know, that was just bait for judgmental people. You can't handle that a right way. Those situations, nothing is the right way to handle it. People's opinions about you, that's a perfect opportunity for them to just make everything personal. Well, we got just a couple minutes, guys. Sorry, we're out of time. I thought I timed that out just well. I wasn't expecting to get all these great calls. So I want to appreciate everybody who called in today. Crime Geeks, Savannah, William, all you guys. That was awesome. But we are pretty much out of time. We'll hang out in the chat here for the remainder, about 4 minutes. Me neither. No, nobody was trying to silence her. She was just speaking her truth, I think, to the wrong people. You know? Joey, you don't think so? What makes you think it's not a serial murder? because law enforcement, they don't think it is either. But I also know that some serial murders, their first killing is like a local killing. It's like a fledgling killing, very inexperienced, and then they learn a whole lot. The MO is the same, but it kind of evolves. At least that's my understanding. But what do I know? Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, it just doesn't seem legit. And Fig did some work with some good interviews, him and Bloke, and they interviewed those people, and they didn't support that story whatsoever. I don't know if it was to keep quiet, to not further the story along. But yeah, they pretty much denied it ever happened. That drama. Never. I don't know, Digital. It's a good question. I think he was just referred to as the bridge guy. That guy on the bridge, you know, the bridge guy. Yeah, she sounds legit afraid. But I don't know her either. You know, you can't just take one person's story and run with it, even if your emotions are being tugged at. Like my emotions were definitely being tugged at, but I can't let that affect my judgment. Hey, outside the bridge, what's up? Love your show, man. No, you were right, Savannah. If you have all this evidence and all this stuff, there's nothing that we can do. All we can do is hope that law pays attention. But like you said, they're already paying attention. He's been taken a million times. I mean, I've had people send me hundreds of documents that make him look guilty. So I know how she feels. Positive. Thanks, Rain Dancer. You guys all take care. Thanks so much.